But as far as shuffling goes, I didn't find shuffling until I moved to a small, not small, it's like a medium-sized city of Rome, Georgia. And I moved from Atlanta out to Rome, Georgia, and I think it's 2006 that I somehow stumbled upon YouTube videos of Moon Boy. It's just kid. I don't know where he was from. Maybe Australia, but he was just going off, man. He must have been like, yay high, just like ripping into some hard trance. That was my first introduction to shuffling in 2006. But funnily enough, I didn't save the video that I found. I didn't have a YouTube profile or anything saved. So I would just like find things, and you either bookmark it maybe on like whatever browser you were using, or you would just like remember what it was called. And somehow I found it like late in the night, like surfing, and I lost shuffling. I didn't know what it was called. I didn't know the dance. I didn't know the person. Like I didn't memorize like the name or the whoever posted the video. So there was a time period where I found shuffling. I lost it, and then in that time period between me finding it again, I found jump style. I found tectonic, which was pretty big in the early 2000s as well. And then I think I found DMB step maybe. But there was a slew of like dance styles that were coming out of Europe that I had started to pick up. And then we're very adjacent to like the shuffle community. And then eventually out in the recommended, shuffle came back. And I just knew like that's the style that I wanted to do. So 2006, I'd say that's when I started shuffling.
Were you dabbling in those other styles before you kind of selected shuffling as like your primary means of expression?
Yeah, 100%, man. I mean, at that time, I guess I had like purposely tried to reach out to more, I'm trying to say like dancing and video games and just finding different hobbies for myself to take up my time when I was like 16 years old, 15, 16 years old. Like before I found shuffling, I was really into like metal and like death metal and like hip hop and indie music. And through that, I found this, I guess you could say it's kind of like a movement called straight edge through the punk and hardcore scene. And straight edge's whole thing is about not doing drugs, not smoking cigarettes or drinking alcohol, for the making like a lifelong commitment to not do that for the entirety of your life. And I had found that, and I was like, I think that's something that I would want for myself. So in doing so, being in high school, you're 15, 16 years old, everyone's like going to parties and doing things. I'm like, well, how can I spend my time doing other shit than get drinking or smoking or having fun at parties and whatnot? So I was like, okay, let me start picking up dances, and kind of like labbing things in my own room and picking up coding and doing these little hobbies. So at the time, dance was like one of the bigger hobbies that I really spent most of my time doing. I would leave school, get off the bus, go home, put on some shoes like somewhere and just start like rocking. Or I mean, I was even into like krump from the early 2000s as well. Like back when like there's a documentary that came out called Rise, and that showed like krump music, krump dance for the first time. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna learn how to krump. I'm gonna learn all these different dances, just like soak everything up. But yeah, shuffling for me was just the outlier for all the other dances, Like, I mean, jump style was cool. I got really into that. But the thing about jump style, like, there's no like really relaxed way to do jump style. Like if y'all don't know jump style, search that shit up. Like, it's all about kicking and acrobatics and being like a 16-year-old kid in his room, no car. And if I'm trying to learn to dance, like me jump styling, it ain't gonna work out too well being in a tiny room, with 3 other siblings, and it just wasn't the way. And somehow I'd found shuffling to be a dance that I could really kind of lab in my own little square and take it, here and there, and just kind of spend more time doing that. And I just fell in love with the music that was tied to it, the hard dance music, whether it was hard trance, whether it was hard style. Just the aggression of the style. I mean, jump style, it's very cool. Tectonic is also very, very cool, but tectonic didn't have that edge that I was used to with like metal and hardcore and going to shows. And somehow when I found, some of the more technical shufflers of the time period, I was like, that's what I want to do. It had that aggression. It had there's a tenacity that you have to kind of have to approach a hard dance genre with a really high BPM. You can't just like have like a really flowy, like relaxed style. Like in order to hit the BPMs at the time period, hitting the beat was like the basically like you just had to do it, you know, like it's what you needed to do. So to do that to like a high BPM song, you really had to like lay it all out there. I just love that aggressive thing about shuffling. So that's kind of why that stuck out most than any other dance style at the time that I was getting into.
Yeah, and I think shuffling is neat and versatile in that manner because you can scale it up or you can
Yeah.
like tone it down,
Yeah.
you know. And it's cool that you can be able to dance to a lot of genres because you know they're going to have a different vibe in that sense. And you know, we can talk a lot about like the style that comes with different genres and your taste in those, and like how you lean into one genre versus another one, and that dictates, you know, what your style is going to look like.